Hello and welcome to Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, New Zealand, home to the 36th America's Cup. So many questions may or may not be answered in this opening day of the Prada Cup finals. How much faster can the challenger of record Luna Rossa go? How much more impressive will Ineos Team UK be after a 20-day break? All will be revealed shortly as the Brits and the Italians get ready to square off on the Waitemata Harbour. The Prada Cup final is a best of 13 race series. Simply, it's the first team to win 7 races and they advance to the match against Emirates Team New Zealand. 2 races a day, 1 point for each win. Today is the highest qualifier. Ineos Team UK have chosen starboard entry for race 1, giving Luna Rossa entry into the pre-start first off port. That will then swap over for race number 2. Let's head to the start box.
Just gotta try and get up here, that's all that matters. Copy.
Ineos has come off the foils, are very close to it. We're so close to this. That's got to be heart in the throat moment for Ben Ainsley right now.
He doesn't have a face.
Does Spithill hunt him here and try to make him even in a tougher spot, or does he just take the advantage, Shirley? Just go for it. They might be a little early back to the starting line, given their position in the starting box.
Ineos is so vulnerable here. For Luna Rossa, it's all about time and distance.
But they're falling off right now as well. They're falling, so this is really a big lull in the starting area right now. Big advantage to these guys, though. The Italians, they look like they're closest to getting the boat going.
Less than 20 seconds to start. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli back up on the foils. Ineos to the right of your screen, off the foils.
Just right on time, you've got to be careful.
Copy.
Okay,
and we're away. Prada Cup Finals, Race 1, 2021. And the battle for the right to challenge Emirates Team New Zealand for the old mug starts now. And it's Luna Rossa in command from the go.
They show the British boat over the line early. That's obviously off to the side. They're just going to loop around this mark and go between the starting marks and try to get their boat going.
Yeah, copy.
Plenty of speed. Nice stack, boys. My draft, my rate. Rossa. Yeah.
They're just getting going here on Ineos. They're getting closer and closer by the second. They had to get up through that starting box, first of all, and now they're doing everything. They're like pumping, rocking, and ooching the boat to try to get the thing to pop out of the water. Really close. 18 knots, Shirley, that's close. Yeah, here we go. Phew.
You need to get 20 knots of boat speed to be able to just lift her up.
And there's the encouraging sign for fans of Ineos Team UK, up and falling. So for them, now it is race on.
Your pitch lane.
Yep. Take your mind back to the other light wind races that we have watched. You know, one boat has often been quite far ahead, fallen off the foils, and it's been a massive restart. This race is only just beginning.
Copy that.
Coming into the top gate for the first time, and it will be Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli with a 560-odd metre lead on Ineos Team UK. It was a lot further away than that but moments ago. So, as Shirley quite rightly said, there's not over as we get the first rounding of the mark, and it's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, the first head downward in race 1. Ineos Team UK now approaching the top gate for the first time. You can understand that that margin has blown out quite simply because of them getting off the foils at the start, but they will finally make the top gate, head towards the right-hand mark and round it and start the chase. Remember, 6 legs. We haven't completed 1 yet. This is halfway through the first leg. And around go Ineos Team UK, 1 minute and 20 behind Luna Rossa.
More breeze coming in 10. Yeah, should build here.
You can hear the voice of Ben Ainsley and Giles Scott talking about more breeze coming. Let's go over to Heli 2, see if they're right about seeing more breeze. Nathan Alleridge, can you see more breeze?
Yeah, definitely from up here looks like it's starting to fill in and be a bit more stable across the course. The other thing that I can see from the helicopter, which I haven't been able to see until today, is the difference in these sails. Luna Rossa definitely look like they're running a deeper sail setup. You can really see that when you're above them and looking down, whereas Ineos seem to be running a flatter, bit more static setup, and I think that's giving Luna Rossa an advantage of being able to generate a bit more power in this lighter wind.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli now about to complete the first leg of second leg of 6 in this opening race of the Prada Cup, and around the left-hand mark they go at the bottom gate for the first time. So 2 legs done, 4 to go for Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Very strong on the left. We are on the left.
Boundary penalty being given to Ineos.
Cruel.
Wow.
A cruel boundary penalty. Well, the fact is that it's done by machine. It is not done. It is not done by man here. So there is no speculation there. They actually came off their foils there briefly for a second as well.
Turning up at 10.
The lead is blown out somewhat. Falling off the foils is not going to help. It was at 1 minute and 20 seconds at the top mark. And now it's going to be a little bit more. But around they will go. 1 minute and 30 seconds in deficit to Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. Crazy old day.
Okay, so Shirley, small sample size here, but you know, we talked a little bit about this race and the light air. Can we kind of officially say now that maybe at the bottom end of the range, Ineos is a bit vulnerable?
I mean, we were expecting gains. With this boat has been in the shed for much of the last 3 weeks, having upgrades. I think we were expecting some light wind gains, and I'm not sure we're saying that. But on the other hand, Luna Rossa's always looked good in these conditions, and they've made upgrades. And when you look at Luna Rossa, she just seems a little bit slippier. She seems to be able to escape those real trouble moments.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli around the top gate for the second time. And the one thing that we've talked about a lot and have noticed, and it's carrying on, the smoothness of them doing their work, but also the communication on board.
There is no question about it that they have had a breakthrough on their communication, but they have not been really under pressure yet.
Okay. 2, 1.
Clear away.
Coming away.
Okay. Easy.
Ineos surrounding the top gate for the second time. 1 minute and 54 seconds behind Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. It's a long way to go, but as you can tell just by the calmness in the voice of Sir Ben Ainsley, it is what it is. Keep doing your job, and away we go.
How's it look out to boundary?
Yeah, looks slightly lighter, if anything.
There's been much in the sailing press this week about this head-to-head beauty versus the beast, which is a little bit harsh, but you have to say, I mean, look at Luna Rossa now in light winds.
Come on, Shirley, that's a beautiful boat.
Everything just looks right.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli at the bottom gate to complete the 4th leg. 2 to go. And this opening race of the Prada Cup final says, remember, you win 7, you go to the big show, the match against Emirates Team New Zealand.
3, 2, 1, down.
I think they did. Nathan, they just think there's a little more breeze out there right now, right? It just seems like a little more comfortable for these guys.
Yeah, Ken, it's definitely, the breeze is definitely building, and you know, if you look further up the course, there's a cloud line that's starting to lift, and that's allowing the air to start to push in.
Ineos Team UK, they finally get to the bottom gate for the last time, basically, and will be the finish, and they're 1 minute and 56 seconds, 57 seconds in the deficit.
They're thinking about the next race right now, right? This one didn't go our way. Let's start thinking about race 2. The good news is, talk about elbows out and a little bit of a slugfest. Breeze coming on. We may not see that flukiness, that those touchdown problems in the pre-start, and have ourselves a closer race.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli approaching the top gate for the last time in this opening encounter of the Prada Cup Finals in 2021. And around she goes and heads home.
Nothing real obvious on these boats that's a big game changer that they've changed in the last couple weeks. So these bits and pieces, like everybody, like all of us have thought about, these bits and pieces are small now. They're small. We're not seeing big changes to the boats.
Ineos Team UK coming to the top gate for the final time. They will take this one on the chin and round the top gate. On the left-hand mark, 2 minutes and 3 seconds behind Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Okay, another 5.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
You just heard Jimmy Spittle say, yeah, this is good, mate. Yes, it is good for Rossa in the opening encounter of the Prada Cup Final 2021. Rossa takes first blood against Ineos Team UK. Let us go on board Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, talk to Francesco Bruni. Francesco, congratulations. One done. The smiles say it all.
Yeah, we are very happy, obviously. One is done. And yeah, the next one will be a very different race, I think. The wind is increasing. And it's not just about staying on the foils, but it will be a different race for sure.
Francesco, congratulations. Talk to you later. Another race coming up.
Thank you, guys. Forza, forza, forza.
Yes, forza, forza. Let us go on board Ineos Team UK and talk to Subinese. You have to take that one on the chin, but the conditions looking a lot better, Ben.
Yeah, it's one of those days. Sea breeze building. It's looking nicer. It was nice the second half of that race, and yeah, it should be good for this next race.
Race 1 was over before it began. The Italians capitalised on one small mistake, dominated the entire race and took first blood. Race 1 of the Prada Cup final goes to Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. Don't go away, there's more fight to come. Rossa, Prada, Pirelli finished the Prada Cup semi-final with form, confidence and momentum. They clearly have their eye on the prize, taking first point in the Prada Cup final. Can they make it 2 out of 2? Or will stronger winds come to the aid of Ineos Team UK? Let's head to the start box for race 2.
Ineos Team UK have port entry allowed in at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's gone past that, but they are rocketing into the pre-start. And now we might see what we've been waiting for. Elbows out. You can see Rossa, Prada, Pirelli now in on the 2 minute mark, and in they come. So wait, watch and listen, because this is going to get good.
Geometry, time and distance, or hand-to-hand battle. That's you pick it up pretty early on in the sequence. It depends on where all these guys are going to go. Do they throw some different looks that we haven't even seen yet?
Yeah, he turns. He's staying high. He's going to get on our hammer here.
Okay.
14 to boundary, killing 40. He now turns down, Ben.
Okay, board down.
Crossing. Eyeball him behind the main.
Okay, he's early.
He's early. That means they'll probably go behind. That means they're going to go behind and push.
Killing 20.
We've seen how powerful it is to start to windward with a gap. Then you get to the boundary really in a great spot.
Charge coming up. Charge.
Okay, let's charge the battery.
That's good. How lower?
Coming down.
Is this enough of a gap?
All the way.
Race 2 is a go in the Prada Cup Final Series 2021. What a start.
A little more juice in that pre-start, Shirley, but this is the exciting time for me, that first cross. The boundary coming up. Who gets that first cross when they do tack over onto port next time?
3, 2, 1.
Stand by to the left here.
Copy. 2, order 1.
Nice.
He's going. Building speed.
Yep. Good pressure here.
My right, my trap.
I think we get all the way to boundary, Ben.
Yeah, copy.
Okay.
Yep.
Charles Scott says let's go all the way to boundary. We're going to have our first good split here, Nathan. Any side of the race course that you like more than the other?
If I had to put any money on it, I'd say the left-hand side of the course looks a little bit windier than the right-hand side of the course. So this is going to be really interesting when they come back together. That was such a tight start. And it's all about this. Ineos, I think, have better pressure, but Rossa are going to come back on starboard tack.
In previous racing, we've seen the Italian perhaps have a little bit of extra height on the upwind. I was surprised that they couldn't live in that starting position a little longer.
He's going behind us. He's going behind us.
First cross to the Italians. Starboard tack advantage came across. Giles Scott grabs the wheel on those dips. Did you hear that? That was interesting.
I mean, it looks like the Italians are just a click faster, Stephen.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. Yeah, let's just say a click ahead of Ineos Team UK, rounding the left-hand mark at the top gate for the first time. Do you remember back in race number 1, the advantage was 1 minute and 20 seconds? Well, think again. Different ball game, folks, in race number 2. That advantage is now just 11 seconds.
High pitch.
Forward down.
Great to look at the speeds going downwind, and there's not a heck of a lot between them. Took a little while for Ineos to get up to around that 40-45 knot mark, and we're talking around 52 miles an hour, Shirley.
But Prada have extended. I mean, look at how many meters. We're now nearly at 300 meters. They've done well on this run. Partly, I think, protecting that left-hand side of the course that, that Nathan favoured so much.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, bottom gate for the first time. They'll take what we can see here is that we'll call it the left-hand mark, and they'll go around. They will fly around. And the one thing we have noticed as this regatta has progressed, not just this one, but the whole regatta, the smoothness with which they are going around and doing their moves. It was 11 seconds at the top mark. It's going to come out just a little bit, but this is well far from over. Both boards down for Ineos Team UK, 17 seconds now.
Leads come back in a little bit here, over 100 meters gain back. They still like the left. Nathan likes the left. Everybody likes the left. Anderson, Ineos has not obviously lost a race up until today this year. Are you surprised at what you see right now, or is this kind of making sense to you?
I mean, there's a little bit that's surprising to see them. They're exiting a fair number of their maneuvers, especially their tacks with a little bit of leeward heel, and their rate of acceleration out of their tacks definitely seems to be a fair bit less than what you're seeing on Luna Rossa. Luna Rossa's just made a massive jump in how clean that they're sailing around the track.
Obviously, the Italians coming in now to the top gate to complete the halfway mark, shall we say, of this second race, race number 2 of the Prada Cup Finals. They took race 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds. They are in the lead in race number 2, and they're heading downwind on leg number 4 of 6. But, this is the crazy thing about these boats. You just don't know. As we see Ineos Team UK, they are firing into the top gate as well.
Your wheel.
Well, we talk now about marginal gains, but I mean, I think we're seeing a step up by the Italian outfit. I mean, this is impressive. We did not expect it to be so clean and so smooth and so much faster.
And the lead by Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli sitting around the 280 mark. They haven't been behind all day. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli about to complete leg 4 of 6. Bottom gate heading upwind for the last time.
Windy enough now, Stephen, that they're going around that leeward gate with both boards in to avoid that sideways skid. So the breeze is still on, Nathan, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up. This is like the perfect breeze for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, Ken, the breeze is just beautiful out here now, and you're spot on there. The last time Luna Rossa went around the bottom mark, they did a single board only, and that was that leeway skid, that big slow arc where I think they lost quite a few meters. It's definitely windy enough now for 2 boards down around these bottom marks. It gives the boats that extra grip, and I haven't really understood it until I got in the helicopter, and now I can see from above how much grip they get with that windward foil and how the boat shoots upwind out of the bottom mark as opposed to sliding sideways. You can see why all the teams are doing it.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli sitting around 33 knots, but a lead of 260 meters as you see it on our screen with our virtual eye. Just makes understanding this match racing, which it is match racing, so much better. We didn't expect match racing. We were talking about this a lot earlier, but this is quite simply cool.
Yeah, match racing. It's real racing. That the upwind starts has clearly kind of changed the game back in a very interesting direction, at least for us diehard sailors. We see the intricacies or the details, and yeah, it makes it more fun. There's no question about that.
heading towards the top gate on the stadium course for the final time in race number 2. Much heavier winds for both these boats. It was a light air race in the first one, won by that beautiful boat there in Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. And here they go, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They will head into the top gate for the final time. And they are simply honking that boat. They are going.
Here we go, boys.
One foil this time. It was 2 at the bottom gate, single foil this time, and they're on their way home. What a sight.
Good rounding, boys.
That's a relief rounding, right? That was Jimmy Spithill saying that was our last chance to really kind of have a major here. Breeze is up, no question. That he was kind of relieved to get around that thing.
2, 1.
Ineos Team UK get around the top gate for the final time.
You know, we didn't know what the performance gains would have been from both teams, and the teams didn't know what the performance gains were either. And I think the interesting thing about this series is actually it could go on a long time. So we will see gains and changes as this series progresses.
Also, I've got a current over here down the side.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. This is the final stage of race number 2 of the Prada Cup Finals in 2021. They got it in race number 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds, and I don't think anyone prior to this race series starting would have picked that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli would take a 2-0 lead in the Prada Cup Final Series, but that is what they have done. Luna Rossa 2-0. In boxing parlance, Jimmy, that's a couple of good rips either side, but it's not a knockout blow, but nice way to start the series.
Yeah, it was a good day. I thought the boys sailed really well on board. Still obviously a few things I think we need to sharpen up on, but great job by the team. Boat was performing very, very well.
Jimmy, what a great day, a massive congratulations. Let's talk pace. It looked like you had a click of pace, both upwind and downwind. How surprised were you by that?
Look, we know we've got a great boat. We've got a great package here and a very good team backing us up on the shore. So we're confident in our boat. And but having said that, we still know there's quite a bit there on the table. As I said, we made a few mistakes today, and we'll definitely be going back to try and sharpen up on those for tomorrow.
Let's go on board Ineos Team UK. Sir Ben Ainsley waiting to talk us through what went down in race number 2. Ben, you said you've got to keep pushing. Can you break down that race for us?
Yeah, it's pretty even start and close first beat. The Italians did a good job. They just sailed that slightly bit faster, a little bit better, obviously around the course. So yeah, credit to them. We'll have to go away and think about how we can get a little bit more pace.
No mai, haere mai, this is Aotearoa, New Zealand, a land of beauty and wonder. And this is Auckland, home to the 36th America's Cup. It's day 2 of the Prada Cup Finals series, and Luna Rossa, the challenger of record, are full of confidence. 2 wins out of 2 on the opening day, impressing all those watching, except their opponents, Ineos Team UK. Yesterday was a body blow, but nothing they can't handle. Sir Ben's team have shown they can get up off the canvas, fight and win, and that's what they must do. 2 more races today for Luna Rossa and Britannia out on course E, fondly called the back paddock. The Italians have port entry for race 3, the Brits have starboard. Let's head to the start box.
He goes inside.
Yeah.
Can use the boundary here.
Yeah,
Big on, boys. Okay, killing 45. 10 to boundary.
This is the moment where Prada has to make the decision. Do they go back early? And it looks like they're going to. They're going to lead back in this position.
29.
Driving.
Your wheel.
Driving.
Ley lines 10 away.
Go for speed.
High pitch. Staying on his hammer here.
A little bit. Yep.
Okay. Staying on.
Fine. Board out.
Okay, going board.
Yes.
High pitch. Your pitch. Yeah.
Stand by coming up.
Going for the hook here.
Yeah. Edge. Start edging.
Killing 10. Killing 4 at the pin.
Turning
My
up,
pin, your
turning
pitch.
up. Go, boys, go. Big one. Go.
Back down.
Easy.
Big.
Got racing.
Yeah, this jockeying by Ineos happened a little late, Nathan, right? They're in a tough spot here right now. They really waited too late. Giles Scott was trying to get him to pull the trigger a little bit earlier.
They got down to the pin ley line, and Giles Scott said no time to kill. Looked like they are going to be very late to this start on Ineos.
Ley line is still 7 away.
Yeah, copy. Building, guys.
Speed.
Ley line's still 4 away.
Boys.
They'll be tacking on Ineos off of this line.
3, 2, 1, board
2,
down.
1, board down, board down.
Got it.
Watch this tack on tack here, Stephen.
He follows.
Clear on the line.
I will.
Race start. Prada Cup Finals, race number 3, 2021. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, Ineos Team UK.
Kenny, I think Giles and Ben just got greedy in that start.
No question about it. He went for a possible hook when his tactician was saying there's no time for a hook.
I can see
Got him. He's setting up. Stand by. 2-1.
This is a match race right now. This is going to be tack on tack again. Here we go.
Okay, board. My pitch. My wheel.
These boats lose almost no speed or distance anyway towards the mark during these tacks. That's why you're seeing such aggressive match racing.
2, 1, board down.
Little trim up. Little trim.
Okay, got it.
Nathan, are you surprised that, I mean, that was a real opportunity to tack exactly in unison. They keep giving them some breathing space here. Are you surprised at that?
I am a little surprised. Traditionally in match racing, you go wide on one tack and then you hit them on the other tack, and that forces Ineos to tack out of the bad air. So they're being nice at the moment.
Yeah, if you're on Ineos, you're relieved when that happens, right? You just got a break.
Exactly.
Again, but they gave him space. I
think they're going to ley line. Ineos are happy with the split, and Prada are happy just to avoid the extra tack.
This is a 6-leg race, and Luna Rossa approaching the top gate for the first time, motoring in at just under 40 knots on a day that promises plenty, and we've already got plenty in this first upward leg. They will head around the mark on the downward leg for the first time. And that green mark you can see is the highest speeds they've reached so far, centre at just under 49 knots for Luna Rossa as Ineos Team UK go through the top gate and start the chase again. 9 seconds, nothing.
How we to boundary here, Ben? We've got an
It's
intersection
picking
on
those
boundary.
moments when to be aggressive and when to just, look up the course and sail your own race. And Prada did that at the top of the course. They liked that left-hand side. They wanted to take the left-hand mark, and you orchestrated that perfectly. But not easy to do.
Look at this, they're coming back into them here. Good chance for a split at the bottom mark, I would recommend. Here, I reckon Ineos will probably go straight. So Italy will go straight, and I reckon UK will probably jibe here.
And it's a tough maneuver, Stephen, so this ought to be interesting. This is a tough maneuver if Ineos decides to jibe around this mark.
Yeah, copy.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli heading to the bottom gate for the first time, and it's a chase. Ineos are chasing, they're cutting the gap down.
JK means they're probably going to follow them in and roll right into attack. 2 boards down and roll right into attack.
Turning.
And there you have it. That's why we're listening on board.
Exactly.
They tell us exactly what they're going to do.
You think? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the case.
Stand by in 3, 2, 1, board down.
We've only got 25 back. He can leave out. 30 back to the other boundary.
Okay, so that's more like it. You're tacking on their face, and look at that. Ineos have to tack straight away. Now we're getting into the pushing them around, and you could hear them say, we like the right better. It's a left-hand shift. We want to get onto port tack because we're going to make a gain on this tack.
Okay, got it.
This is definitely a nice play by Luna Rossa in this situation. Maybe a little bit of a stretch. They used the wind shift to their advantage and tacked on their competitor at exactly the right moment. Got out another maybe 50, 75 meters. Not much, though.
And they do the same again.
Push them to the short side of the race course right now, Andrew, right? You got them over on the left. Why not just shove them into that corner?
Absolutely. You know, that first meet that they made there was dead center in the racetrack, and this one you see is much further on the left side of the track. Luna Rossa didn't go all the way to that starboard side boundary. They came back early so they could herd these guys for a longer distance on port tack.
Luna Rossa coming up to the top gate for the second time to complete the halfway mark of this third race, in control at this point. Both teams said at the press conference yesterday after racing, they want to sail better. We need to be sailing better. We're seeing a much tighter affair today out on course E, the back paddock, they call it. But the length just going a bit further in favour of Luna Rossa. Now 17 seconds, 18 seconds confirmed.
2, 1. It's going soft, they're going to bail out.
Interesting they haven't gone all the way to boundary there or ley line, unless they are actually on ley line there. I was shocked that they wouldn't just keep going. The competition's following you. Why would you jibe away from what looks like the ley line unless the wind's shifting?
Now you hear Francesco talking about pressure with the righty. That breeze that they had before they jibed there was getting softer all the time. And you're seeing it go up and down through these as the clouds roll through. It's just pulsy. You know, there's moments where there's plenty of pressure. There's moments where it's a little soft. But you know, being in those veins is going to be the whole race here.
9 seconds. 1, squad down.
Leg 4 about to be completed of the 6-leg race. Luna Rossa around the mark, heading for the upwind leg for the last time in this third race. At the last mark, it was 18 seconds. It's come down again. There is nothing in this.
Yeah, not a great maneuver by Luna Rossa around that mark. They did what they called the JK. That means you're going to roll right into attack. They got down to 20 knots, which is almost boat in the water material, and really lost a fair chunk.
Luna Rossa jibed early because they wanted that pressure, but then they actually gave the right-hand side to the UK boat on the upwind here. Now they're back under pressure again. This lead is, you know, back inside 100 metres, but right now they're going to tack right on them and start controlling the upwind again.
Slugfest, here we go.
Same again if he goes.
Okay, set up.
Now this is just lay on top of your competitor as hard as you possibly can. Shove them to the short side of the racecourse, which means use the geometry of the racecourse and the boundaries to your advantage. Don't give them an escape route.
Every time you tack, there's an opportunity for an error in your competitor, so you just got to keep chipping away.
19.
Same again up here.
One pitch. Yep.
Heading into the top gate for the last time in this third race of the Prada Cup final, and it is still Luna Rossa leading Ineos Team UK. The margins keep coming down. It was 11 seconds. At the last, at the fifth, it's 10 seconds. Well, it's come down by a second. But heck, let's talk increments.
Both boats jibing here. Oh, almost falling overboard there.
We're okay.
Come. You're well.
Dangerous crossing behind the main while turning. Blenheim Mudd lost his feet there. Managed to hang on.
I have to admit, Andrew, I'm really surprised on these boats we haven't seen somebody go out the back door here yet. That was close.
Great work in the handles, boys.
Approaching the finish of race number 3 in the Prada Cup final, and Luna Rossa do it again. They are 3-0 with another flawless performance. And they will be extremely happy about that. The task just gets a little bit harder now for Ineos Team UK. Remember, first to 7, you're off to the match. Still, though, long way to go. And the final margin, 13 seconds, but a much closer, tighter, dramatic affair today. The challenger of record, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, in this Prada Cup final, now 3-0 against Ineos Team UK. Let's catch up with Francesco Bruni. Francesco, we've got Ben Ainsley listening in on this one. Anything you'd like to say ahead of race number 4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy that we are having such a good racing with them, and it's impressive. We did, I think, the first real match race, like with the slow boats, really.
Ben, would you like to respond to those comments from Francesco?
Yeah, nice race, mate. We need to get our act together and try and get a few boys to keep it going. It's great.
The Italians looking slick. They've got the foot on Ineos Team UK's throat. Can they extend their lead to 4? Or will the Brits come back fighting with some newfound form? After establishing themselves as the team to beat by qualifying directly for the final, Ineos Team UK are now struggling against a slick Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The Italians are 3-0 up. Can they make it 4 out of 4? Let's head to the back paddock for the second race of the day.
Killing 55, killing 50, boundary 19 away.
Let's have a look at it. Drive in front of him hard, set up, let's.
Get ready.
So Ainsley's might go back early, and there's still a lot of time.
Turning hard here.
Maybe a re-roll here.
Turning hard, turning up all the way.
Yep.
Okay.
Re-roll.
Wow, interesting move there. Interesting move, Nathan. Oh, little flight problem. Little flight problem, but still should be some time for them to get it back going again.
I think that was a big mistake from Ineos Team UK. You can't afford to do that against this kind of competition.
I think you're right. Not even close. Not even close. This is going to be even worse than that last race.
Set up, let's.
Crossing. Ley line still 5 away.
Ready, 2, 1, board down.
Ain't got it. Okay, 26s.
Underway, race 4, Prada Cup Final 2021. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with a 3-0 lead. And another mistake at the start by Ineos Team UK.
Little different scenario, though. That actually closed up, Nathan, much more than we thought there at the end. Ineos was late, but not real late, and it actually kind of stuck the Italians into a weird spot. They were actually a little early for the pin end of the start.
So Ineos here gets massive heel there.
This is a big moment coming up to the boundary. It's going to be a tight cross by Luna Rossa, not by much. They go early, Nathan, to give themselves a gap out on that right side if they need to again.
Yeah, but Luna Rossa aren't giving them much space. They're going to have to sail in a bit of batter here and tack back again, and there's not much space on that boundary, is there, Andrew Campbell?
They had the short part of the racetrack, and you're seeing that Ineos is going to have to go right back, and they're not going to have a lot of time to build here on port. You know, the heel's just not your friend for the flight control in that restart, and you find moments where you can't keep the boat in the water, but really happy to see him easily able to take off in this 12-14 knots of breeze.
So you're a flight
right back in the race.
You're a flight controller, Andrew. So what do you think happened there? Give us a little rundown.
Without being on board, it's always impossible to know. These guys, they fight really hard to make sure the platform is level through all these maneuvers. When all 3 boards, or 2 boards and the rudder are in the water, it takes a lot of coordination on board Ineos between 3 guys often to keep the boat down. And if one thing goes wrong, if one guy's not quite in the right spot in his optimums, then they can all go haywire really quickly.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the challenger of record, doing everything right on the second day of racing in the Prada Cup Final. Top gate for the first time, heading on the downwind leg. But right on their tail, Ineos Team UK. Big mistake at the start, but they're in this race as we would expect. 12 seconds the margin.
Ley line 22 away.
I think you can trust the number.
It's hanging a little bit in the right there.
Yeah, it looks better on the left-hand side of the course up this next work.
Copy. Well, that's good for the JK then.
Okay, 10 seconds, blitz.
Copy.
Setting up.
Crossing. Breeze just coming left there, getting further away with the ley line.
Okay, I'm ready.
Still 7 seconds. He jives, he on lane.
Okay, 2, 1, board down, turning.
My rake, my travel. Performance. Right behind us.
They don't sound like a group that's under stress, that's for sure.
That's coming up.
My travel.
Kenny, I think they're just keeping it close, keeping it calm, and just trying to wait for an opportunity to get back in this one. There's no point forcing something when you're this far, when you're this close.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Leave another leg, and away they go around the mark.
One of those skid roundings again, Nathan.
And it's follow the leader as in comes Ineos Team UK. 10 seconds and a...
Yeah, JK in a split. There it is. The Grinding World Championships. That's what we're going to rename the America's Cup. In a right-hand shift right now as our course indicator shows. So both boats probably going in the right direction.
Hang on it.
This is the umpires. GBR boundary penalty. GBR boundary penalty.
It's the last thing that they need right now.
Look at our track.
Penalty clear.
Oh, that's close.
Okay. Got options back to the right turn lay line from here. How's it look up to windward? We got left turn lay line 30 away. I think we save a move here, set up for left turn. Bias for left as well. A couple here. Nice.
It's coming up a little.
Heading towards the top gate and the halfway mark in this fourth race of the Prada Cup Finals. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli haven't been behind all day. And they round the mark and head on the downward leg. But right behind them comes Ineos Team UK.
Okay. Fairway jibe.
Copy. I will.
But that margin is going to get a little larger this time around.
Away in 2, 1. Now.
Easy. Going straight.
Yep. Little lighter.
There's a big streak coming down the center right-hand side of the racetrack. You see Ineos is in that shift now. They had to come up, almost up to Prada's line before they got into that puff, so they're not going to make any gains where they were, unfortunately.
But when you talk about gains on this downward leg for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they had the foot to the floor. The accelerator was firmly planted as the gap widened out to over 500 meters. And they will take the bottom gate and hit on that upwind leg for the last time. They were screaming down that leg.
They'll lose a little bit of their lead because of these two jibes, but like Andrew and Shirley just said, right-hand side of the race course is dominant right now, so they had to do the two jibes, and also look at how favored that mark is. It's the short mark around to get them quickest up to the top gate. Course access 40, almost a 19-degree right-hand shift reading on our gauges down here, Shirley, and I'm sure it looks like that out on the water.
Yeah, it's right, and it's very long on starboard tack as well. I mean, a really dominant position for Prada. They're in more breeze. We've seen them just getting a little bit more height from that, and they are on the long tack, so good news for them.
These guys have spent 85% of this leg on starboard tack. It's exactly what you want when you're ahead.
Interesting chat on board at the top mark. Okay, Jimmy was talking about the tack bear away, and they're actually going to go the bear away jibe and try and get further down the race course, but I think he thinks it's a lot windier on the right-hand side than the left.
Completing the fifth of 6 legs of this fourth race of the Prada Cup Final 2021. And again, it's Luna Rossa rounding the mark first and leading the way. And they're on their way home in this fourth race. Impressive is a word that will describe Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in the first 4 races of this Prada Cup Final 2021. As they head towards the finish line, they are now only 3 races away from meeting the defender, Emirates Team New Zealand. And that will mean the challenger of record goes up against the hometown boat. They have been flawless yet again. And to come across the line they do. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli go 4-0.
That was good.
4-0, first to 7 goes to the match. What was good about today? You talked about getting some mistakes out of your game yesterday. What changed and how happy are you?
Yeah, I thought the boys sailed well. I mean, today's racing was all about getting off the line in front, which we did a great job of. And then really just a sort of a foot on the throat approach. The boys and the handles did a outstanding job, you know, just tack for tack, and we were just gaining every time. So very, very happy with the lads on the handles today.
Francesco, do you have a little message you want to say in Italian to the troops back home?
Sì, grande Italia e forza Palermo.
Grazie mille, thanks Francesco. Let's go across to Ineos Team UK. Sir Ben Ainsley joins us once again. It's getting tough, Ben. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, tough day. We're not happy with it. You know, we can sail a hell of a lot better than that, and we need to. And yeah, we just gave 2 races to those guys, you know, bad, you know, off the start line. And to their credit, they sailed really well and didn't give us really a chance to get back into it. But at this level, you can't afford to make any mistakes, and we made too many. So we've got to go away and regroup and really get our act together for Wednesday and come out swinging.
Can you give us an idea, Ben, of what happened in that breach? And secondly, are you okay? It looked like you took a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest. We've got to go away and look at it. We wanted to be aggressive in the start. It was quite an aggressive move, but we were in a good spot, but we lost control of the boat, which obviously you can't afford to do. So you'll have to go away and look at that one. Yeah, but don't worry, I'm fine, mate.
And welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud, a nation of diverse landscapes. This is Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, base for the 36th America's Cup. It's been 7 days since racing commenced in the Prada Cup finals, and Ineos Team UK have had 6 days to figure out how to get back into the battle after losing the first 4 races in a row. Rossa, Prada, Pirelli are just 3 wins away from challenging Emirates Team New Zealand for the America's Cup. But remember, one mistake is all it takes to turn a win into a loss. Today's racing is on course E, the Maraetai Beachlands option. Rossa has port entry, Britannia has starboard for race number 5. And remember, each win is worth a point. The standings at this junction are easy to read. Rossa, the challenger of record, has 4 wins. Ineos has got the big donut, 0. 3 more wins and the Italians are through. It's a critical day for the British. Let's head to the course fondly known as the back paddock.
Oh, Ben Ainsley setting up to windward, and now he has the choice, either gap off, and we've seen that been really a great start to get, or if there's enough time, get the hook.
Can Prada slow down enough to kind of force the issue with the Brits, though? They've been practicing this maneuver on slowing down high and slow like they're going right now. Can they box them out?
Ben Ainsley lining up for the hook, pushing the Italians down the line. Both of them are early.
Closed out. Don't get closed out.
Stand by, board down, board down.
Board's going down.
Start underway. Both teams across the line early. Both teams across the line early. What a start to race 5 of the Prada Cup final.
Both pushed their protest button. Both thinks the other one fouled.
Penalty GBR, both boats OCS, which is neutralised. Penalty GBR.
Wow, both boats OCS, Shirley. That means both were over early, but that was neutralised because they say they went even. All of a sudden, the British have a penalty for either windward leeward, barging, whatever you might call it. There were probably any number of different fouls right there.
Well, I'm sure we'll see it again, but it looks like the British tried to squeeze in a space that wasn't there.
Go, go.
My trap.
He's matching angle. He's now slowly coming up. Come up a couple here. Up a couple. Yeah, that's fine. No
This is the umpire. This is the umpire. GBR gained an advantage. GBR has to get 50 metres behind Italy.
Oh, he's given us a penalty. Let's take it with the tag. I think.
Stand by.
So Jimmy Spill gets the protest. He wants another penalty for Ineos Team UK on this first leg of Prada Cup. Race number 5 in the finals.
He talked it through, Shirley. Jimmy Spithill was the commentator there. He wasn't talking to his crew. He was talking to the jury members, actually explaining what was going on during those maneuvers.
Let's go up into the sky now. Let's just watch it again. This is where it came in.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. The Prada boat did such a good job of going high and slow, and really the judges decided it was either windward lured or stuffing their way into a spot that they weren't allowed to go. They have to avoid a collision, both boats, but that was close.
Jimmy Spittle also made it look like there potentially was a gap. Teased him to come in there.
Still a penalty on the British boat. This is all messed up right now. This still has to do with the penalty off the starting line.
On the wind now. Come on, we're behind him, Richard. What do you want, mate?
3, 2, 1.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, the team that has a 4-0 lead in this Prada Cup final, are first through the top gate. But there's not much in this one. Both these boats performing well in lighter air today on course number E. Around go Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, but right on their tail are Ineos Team UK.
Nathan, can you see any options on this leg for Ineos?
Well, the option for Ineos is really working out how they can get to the right-hand side of Luna Rossa. You know, the left, where they're heading right now, is a little bit softer. It's getting a bit more even. Unfortunately, I don't see big pressure changes or big shifts. I just see slightly more wind on the right-hand side than the left. So I suspect both boats are trying to want to get a left-hand turn at the bottom mark, come out into this pressure, and the only way that Ineos are going to get back into this one is if Prada actually give it to them, I think.
Both boats are looking quite similar speed up at the moment, just as Ineos are able to sail a click lower. They did a real nice job of exiting the drive at a slightly lower angle, and Prada just look like they're coming up to their line. It's going to be really interesting here again at the bottom mark. I think the right-hand side of the course has more pressure. It's going to be a real battle. Whoever gets further to the right of the other boat, I think will make a gain each time.
For Ineos, this is becoming far too familiar a sight, though, isn't it?
3, 2, 1, board down.
Approaching the bottom gate for the first time to complete leg 2 of 6 in race number E. And it will be Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, in and around the bottom gate for the first time.
They were listening to Paul Goodison. Even though they were laying the gate, they actually did a jibe to get off to the right-hand side of the course. Very interesting and well done.
And not too far behind our Ineos Team UK. It was 15 seconds at the top gate. It's 20 seconds at the bottom gate. Despite the fact we saw on that downwind leg, they had superior speed at one point.
Gains to him. Yeah. He's tacked. He's got a boundary there.
I mean, Goody, these are big boats and it's pretty light winds. I mean, how big an area is the wind affected by the boat in front?
It's quite a big wind shadow. It's strange because it's not like normal boats. The wind shadow goes almost directly behind you. And the most critical time is to build speed, to get up to your target numbers out of the tack, and as soon as you have a tight lane, you just hesitate to press a little bit, or you press into the dirty air, and life just gets so much harder so fast. A real tricky position for Ineos here.
About to complete the halfway stage of this 5th race in the 2021 Prada Cup Final Series. Once again, leading all the way, Luna Rossa going through that top gate. It was 20 seconds at the bottom mark. What is it this time? How big is the advantage now as they comfortably go around? And Luna Rossa with a quiet wave, and we'll see at the bottom mark. Ineos Team UK
Pressure looks slightly better out this
completing the halfway point of this 5th race. They get around this top gate and complete 3 legs. But that lead is really stretched out now, 58 seconds. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli with a 4-0 lead on Ineos Team UK. Bottom gate for the completion of the 4th leg in race 5 of the Prada Cup final.
Nice.
Again, smooth,
Super in control here.
subtle touchdown, and as Shirley has done on many occasions, kisses the water and just pops back up. Ineos Team UK approaching the completion of leg number 4 in Britannia.
Okay, up. Two.
It was interesting to watch Subi and Ainsley cross that starboard side. There was a lack of urgency in the cross. It was also casual saying, oh, well, that's what it is. 5 legs done for Luna Rossa, and they're heading on the homeward leg. And they will make it, barring tragedy, barring anything, they will go to a 5-0 lead in this Prada Cup final. Ineos Team UK approaching the gate, the top gate, for the final time in race number 5. And there will be questions swirling through the heads of the coaching staff. Subi and Ainsley, Giles Scott, how do we get a start, win a start, and get one in the bag? Because as Nathan Outridge quite rightly said, we are running out of time. 1 minute and 19 seconds, they trail Luna Rossa as they head home in race 5.
What we're seeing Luna Rossa do really, really well is their time and distance. The way they managed to just manipulate the time and massage the time so that there was no room to the right of them at that last start was really impressive. And again, that comes down from some really nice software and also being able to manage your boat really well and manage the speed and accelerate at the right time. So it's quite impressive what we're watching right now.
Slick comes to mind because they haven't put a foot wrong. They were tough at the start. They basically bullied in many ways in Ineos Team UK, and they have dominated from the get-go. And if you go back over all 5 races, they haven't trailed once. This is a big moment. 5-0, and they have done it once again and left Ineos Team UK in their wake. Confirmation, race 5 of the 2021 Prada Cup final, and Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Perfect, yet again, 5-0, and a 1 minute and 20-second win. Let us go on board Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Francesco Bruni. There should be half a smile on your face. You're 5-0, and Paul Goodison said, and we are seeing it, your time and distance to the start is bang on.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been a fantastic race, but obviously Jimmy did most of the job on that time on distance, and he did very well. As I said, textbook for me.
Francesco, I think you've been out of Italy and in New Zealand for too long. Not even a hint of a celebration when you cross that line. What's going on board?
Yeah, you're right. We've been in New Zealand for too long. There are things that you need to learn from the Kiwis, and probably this is one of them. Yeah, no high fives yet.
Let us now go on board to Ineos Team UK. Where to from now, Ben?
Yeah, well, we just got to keep plugging away. I mean, it's tough. We're obviously struggling in terms of straight line performance, so we've got to push it hard to try and make something happen. And yeah, we pretty close start. Yeah, I guess we obviously just fouled out. Must have been pretty close, and we got the first cross, but they were just sailing away from us with extra speed upwind, so pretty tough.
5-0. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli's superiority continues. They've sailed one step closer to claiming that trophy that bears their name. But don't count the Brits out. Erasing 170 years of hurt is powerful motivation. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli went into the Prada Cup final as underdogs. But with 5 race wins under their belt, they are dominant and the team to beat. Can Ineos Team UK turn it around and steal the Italians' confidence? Let's find out. It's time to head to the start box for race 6. Ineos Team UK need to win a start. So Ben Ainsley keeps talking about sailing better. The time is now.
Time and distance for Ainsley. Can he shut the other boat out?
Coming down now. They're watching it.
You got eyes on him, Kenny?
Yeah. Big down now.
Yep. Coming up hard. Up 10.
Up hard. Up hard.
One more. Easy. He goes again.
Hold that. That's good. Racing.
He cannot shut
All the way up.
18 seconds. Ainsley could finally have his control off the starting line.
Yep. You're on the line. You're on the line.
Charge. 10, 9, 8, 6,
Big gap between the two right now, though, Shirley. You might have let him off the hook a little bit.
Race 6 of the Prada Cup final between Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli and Ineos Team UK. Clean start, game on.
We've seen the boat on the left side, on the high side of the screen, have advantage here because they get to tack when they get into this boundary. They have boundary abilities to go on to port tack. This is the crucial moment. That first cross is the crucial moment of the race.
We see the British boat squeezing up, closing that gap. They've done well here, the British boat.
They went early on Prada. They didn't even push them into that boundary limit. Nathan, they showed pretty good height right there, the Brits did, and able to kind of shake these guys off early.
Yeah, Kenny, you're exactly right. That was a really good start by Ineos Team UK. Defended the leeward end of the line nicely. I think it's all going to come down when they come back together again. Who makes the cross here? You know, Ineos need to make the cross. They'll be on port tack when they come back together. If Luna Rossa get a piece of them and get them on starboard tack, then I fear we see the same result. But if Ineos make the cross, we could have a race on here, guys.
He tags there. Intersection's about 20 or 15 away from him.
Copy.
Yeah, gonna leave out here.
Set up, let's.
Yeah. My board down. In 5, in 4, in
It will be hard
3,
for him to leave bow.
My trav.
Force down.
He's leave bowing.
Turning.
That's clear.
Okay, get board.
I'm looking to slowly trim up.
Built,
24s. Line.
First cross to Ineos. Haven't said that in a long time. Big split. Big split. I'm with Goody on this one. I'm surprised they hung it out there all the way to the other side of the race course. Another close cross coming.
Pressure coming back.
Looks like Ineos may get across.
He's probably on lay, is he?
I don't think so. No,
Okay,
that's a
copy.
negative.
Leader right here.
On the edge.
Taking some height.
Coming up here.
Yeah, even.
Yeah, just across.
We have to just follow him here.
No problem.
Nice work.
Stand by. 3,
Full pressure after
2,
him.
1.
Good call, Giles Scott.
No problem. The best comment there was no problem. 40 knots coming at each other. No sweat. We got this.
And here's a small moment that will make the team on Ineos Team UK feel so much better. For the first time in this Prada Cup series, they head through the top gate, leading Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Yep, steer down. 3, 2, 1. Clear.
Around go Luna Rossa, 8 seconds behind.
And trimming.
Got a little bit of pressure up there.
Nathan, we look at the race course here, and we still notice that these guys have their biggest jib up, the J1, and on the Italian boat, they have a smaller jib up. Still pretty big difference between sail plans right now, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right, Ken. There is a difference, and you know we were all thinking that that bigger jib was holding him back, but there was no holding him back on that upwind. They obviously sniffed out something out of the left to make that cross at the top, and now we have roles reversal in this race. We've now got Ineos in front for the first time, and the question is, are they going to slowly get away? Is the lead boat got such an advantage, or is Prada fast enough, and are they going to get back into this race? It's looking pretty stable out here in terms of pressure, so it could be a bit of a boat speed race from now.
Yeah, on average.
Bye, guys. Probably JK.
Okay, 10 seconds out here.
My pitch.
2, 1.
Ineos Team UK at the bottom leg for the first time, the bottom gate. And if you're watching this in the middle of the night in the UK, you will be pretty happy about this. Don't fall off your seat. Don't spill your cuppa. But Ineos Team UK in race 6 are leading Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. Are they on the third leg, on their way to their first win of the Prada Cup final? Only time will tell.
You know, Ineos did a great job of him making sure Prada followed him around, but then Prada instantly straight to get out of phase. As Paul Goodison was saying, it's a little bit streaky out here, and if you're the lead boat, you wouldn't want to allow too much leverage right now. So Ineos rolled straight into attack. I expect when they come back together here, Ineos is going to start to shut this race down. It'll be a face tack in the next one, and then they'll be trying to push them up the left-hand boundary, I suspect.
confidence will be building on the Ineos Team UK boat.
5, 2, 1. Now.
Boards down.
Your pitch. Take on board. Yeah.
Three is on here, boys.
Yes.
Three is on. Stand by.
The light spot coming here now. No pressure back.
Ineos Team UK at the top gate, complete the halfway mark of the sixth race, as they are around the mark and head down for leg number 4. The deeper we head into this race, the more confident Ineos Team UK and Britannia looks to potentially bag their first win of this Prada Cup Final Series.
Ineos are tramping away early on this leg. I think they got extra wind, good angle. Goodness, they've nearly doubled the lead.
My wheel forward. My pitch.
Hold down. Turn it.
Got it.
Yeah, no, the breeze looks to be up just a click at the moment, which I think the big difference between the teams at the moment is that the British guys are managing to exit their jibes just a little lower, and it seems to be a little nicer, but then I think some of that's coming into the jib.
Ineos Team UK complete 4 legs of 6 in race 6. And they have stretched the lead. That's right, we're talking about Ineos Team UK stretching the lead on Luna Rossa, who have been so dominant in this Prada Cup Final Series.
It's amazing how much faster you look and feel when you're ahead, Shirley. I mean, these things sound like obvious comments, but Ineos, the whole package just looks better this race. Amazing shots of these things just ripping through the water, isn't it? You just can't get used to this. How the world of sailing has changed forever thanks to this class.
Turning.
Looks like Ineos is on ley line, but that's also going to create a split. I mean, the Italians are slowly coming back into it.
How big is this moment as we finish the penultimate leg of race number 6?
It's going to be a split at this gate as well. I think you're going to see Ineos roll into a jibe pretty quickly and try to stay in the same water on this downwind leg. Wow, big comeback.
Ineos Team UK running the top gate for the last time. But they are now being hunted from Luna Rossa, and it's not that far. They have dragged in some time, believe you me. It was 32 seconds to the bottom gate. It's 9 seconds with 1 leg to go. Tension has just ramped up a notch on this final leg of race 6. Although that Ineos lead has just expanded somewhat. It was around 50 odd coming into the top gate. Now it's expanded out to around 150, 160, and it keeps on going. Racing towards the finish in the 6th race of the Prada Cup Final.
Really well done by the British team coming into the finish line here. Great control on this last leg. Very proud of them for a variety of reasons.
The Prada Cup Final is far from over. Ineos Team UK are heading towards the finish line, and they will bag their first win in this final. It may be a small win, but it's a significant win. Let us go on board to Subinanzi, and Ben, I've got to say, it feels good to say congratulations. How does it feel for you?
Well, yeah, we're a bit happier with a win than been on the wrong side of it last few days of racing. So guys did a great job. Just, you know, they're not going to give up. These boys going to keep fighting all the way. So get one back is what we needed.
One final thought, Ben, your grinders look like they've had a hell of a day at the office. Might be your chance to buy them a drink tonight because they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I owe them many, many beers. That's for sure.
Thanks, mate. Go and enjoy this one. Still a long way to go. Appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, guys.
Time to head on to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, who still hold a 5-1 lead. Jimmy Spittle is standing by to have a yak with us. Gee, that was tight at the end there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was a great race. I thought the boys did a great job. Really nice manoeuvres. Pretty steady, you know, the pressure in the end. But yeah, great race. Full credit to Ineos for getting that one.
Kia ora koutou katoa, a warm welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand and Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, home to the 36th America's Cup. It's desire versus desperation on day 4 of the Prada Cup Final. a desire by Luna Rossa to get the job done. Desperation for Ineos to keep this series alive. The battling Brits rediscovered their mojo yesterday, taking their first win and opening the door for the comeback. If anybody knows about comebacks, it's Jimmy Spittle. You can't help but think he'll be looking over his shoulder with a touch of nervousness. Let's take a quick look at the points table. Luna Rossa need just 2 more wins to send the Brits packing. Ineos Team UK have a much tougher equation. They must win 6 of the next 7 to take out the series. The recipe for success: win the start, win the race. Can the Brits turn yesterday's win into momentum? Let's head to course A for race 7. Ineos has port entry and Luna Rossa has starboard.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Race 7, Prada Cup final is underway. No argy-bargy, clean by both.
Same now.
I was very surprised that Luna Rossa gave up that distance to windward as early as they did. I thought they had a chance to kind of hang up there and start further gapped off to weather. This is a very vulnerable spot for the Italians.
It looked like a moment of slight indecision. They thought maybe we'll go for the hook and then realized it was too late.
Nathan, you're right out next to these boats right now. Are you surprised that they dove into this position? But it seems like they're hanging pretty well right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we've all discussed that they gave up a lot of leverage there, but they're actually doing a great job. We're just next to them, hanging on the hip. They're going to try and take this all the way to boundary, and lights are flashing now, so both boats about to tack, and it's all about your exit of this tack for these 2 boats. I'd expect Luna Rossa are going to put the high mode on him pretty quickly and try and squeeze him out.
Very well done by Spithill that whole way across. They were in an incredibly vulnerable spot. Up to the helicopter in the sky, Paul Goodison. Were you surprised that Luna Rossa could hang in that spot all the way to the boundary?
Yeah, a little surprised they managed to stay in there as well as they did. It's going to be interesting going across here with the setup we have today. There's going to be a bit of a right bend around Rangitoto into the channel, so we'd expect a small right shift as we get over here, and I'd expect it to become quite difficult for Ineos to hang in on this this long port tack.
Italians on the right-hand side. We heard in the comms before the race that there were some options on that side. The outgoing tide as well is stronger on the right-hand side. So at the moment, well played by Jimmy Spithill and Francesco Bruni.
You would almost call that quite a composed start. Didn't win the start, but very composed and getting to do what they wanted to do.
I think they had a fair chance to lose this start, and they really kind of salvaged something out of nothing there. That was really quite impressive. Nathan, it kind of shows that high mode that we've seen with the Italian boat from time to time. That was kind of special what they did.
Yeah, very special, but man, they just stuffed up their tack there. They just had a bad tack, big splashdown. Looks like they've been able to get back up on the foil, but they tacked right on top of Ineos there. But yeah, Kenny, they have recovered. They've got quite a good control in this race. But what you're talking about is that high mode they have is very powerful. You know, to be able to live all the way to the boundary like that was very impressive. And that's a mode that Ineos don't seem to have in these conditions.
Yeah, we're seeing this splashdown that you were just referenced. Not the smoothest tack in the world, but I guess if you're going to have a bad tack, you have a bad tack right on the air of your competitor. You know, that of all places to have a bad tack, not so bad.
Luna Rossa going through the top gate for the first time in this 7th race with a lead on Ineos Team UK. That despite a poor tack halfway up the course. Down and up they were, and down they go on the first downwind leg.
Yeah, copy.
In comes Ineos Team UK.
Down hard,
Small margins at the moment after the first gate, 16 seconds.
Definitely better down this boundary, unfortunately.
Yeah.
These guys are just kind of out in a walk in the park, it seems like. They've really gotten control of these animals, these AC-75s.
Bottom gate for the first time. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli still controlling the 7th race. And as we have said on numerous occasions, as this team has got better and better, nice smooth rounding of the mark, and away they go on leg number 3 of race number 7. It was 16 seconds at the top gate. And not too much more as Ineos Team UK come around the bottom gate. Maybe a 5-second game and not the best drive around by Ineos Team UK. 21 seconds the deficit. And just look at the engine room do its job. I think you were the one, Kenny, who said earlier with these tacking jewels, those boys are absolutely knackered by the end of a race.
Yeah, the grinding world championships, we called it a week or so ago. It's really, it's a different world. They're pumping hydraulic fluid for the most part and accumulating hydraulic pressure, so everything from the water line up can be trimmed properly.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, halfway through this 7th race, getting one step closer.
Good course.
To the match. It's not done yet, though. So half distance completed. Leg number 3 for Luna Rossa.
Maybe out of jibe before him.
Around they go. Nice and easy. Sunday afternoon on the harbour.
I think what we're seeing out here right now is that out of the two boats, they have similar area sails, but the Italian boat just manages to deal with having slightly less power. They just look a little bit more slippery through the water and don't look like they need to generate those big cambers to power the boat forward, whereas Ineos looks just really underpowered at the moment. They're the guys who you see with the smaller jibs on seem to suffer earlier, and I think that's what's the difference is right now.
It really is a stadium watch for everybody out there and for you at home, wherever you are watching around the world, as Luna Rossa gets set to round that bottom gate and start on leg number 5. Just like a bought one. That's what that rounding was.
Smooth and slick.
You know, the most surprising thing, I'm going to use the word surprising thing about the performance of Luna Rossa, all up till the Prada Cup final, let us be blunt, they were nothing flash. They weren't setting the world on fire, and suddenly, surely when it matters, boom.
They'd spent all that time developing the boat, and there was certainly potential in the boat. And we saw glimmers of greatness, but they couldn't tame the beast. And as the weeks have gone on, it's just got tighter and tighter and smoother and smoother.
The home leg in race number 7.
Lower than this. This is good though. 2-1, all good.
Sweet. Just like that, around they go and head home. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli moving a little bit closer to the big show, the America's Cup.
You'll see him setting up. That's crossing.
Jimmy Spittle, Francesco Bruni, Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, the challenger of record. And they are about to win race number 7 of the Prada Cup final and take a 6-1 lead in this regatta. They can smell the America's Cup match. They are across the line. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli with win number 6. Ineos Team UK finish race number 7, but they finish in a place they don't want to be. That is second, and second gives you nothing. One more race. They've got to win race number 8. Otherwise, it's over. On board Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. They are a 6-1 leader. 1 to go, Francesco. How satisfying was that performance today?
We are super happy, obviously, but again, we are very close. For sure, we are very close, but we need to focus to the next race. We cannot give anything for granted. We have to stay focused and keep sailing well.
Grazie, Francesco. We'll talk to you after race number 8.
Thank you.
Let's go on board Ineos Team UK. Sir Ben Ainsley. Ben, where to? Where to from now?
Win a race. Win the next race. Got to win every race from now on in. Otherwise, we're out. So it gets pretty simple.
Ineos Team UK has a proverbial mountain to climb. They're living on the edge. One more loss and they're out. Their America's Cup dream over. Luna Rossa, on the other hand, is now just 1 race away from claiming the Prada Cup and glory. It's do or die time for Ineos Team UK. The battling Brits are down and very nearly out. The challenger of record, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, came into the Prada Cup final as underdogs, but someone forgot to tell Jimmy the Pitbull Spittle. Let's head to the water for race 8. Luna Rossa has port, Britannia has starboard.
He's inside starboard lay for us, left shift. 17 to boundary, 16 to boundary, 10 closest.
Port down.
Pressure is even on the course.
Coming up in.
Clearing board bed?
Yeah.
Starboard tack by Prada. They had to jibe early there on Ainsley's boat. He's the one who's vulnerable to a hook right now.
Trimming up.
Actually jibed himself in kind of a tough spot. Early back.
Killing 9 to the pit.
Your wheel.
My wheel.
Force him on the down. Get on his breeze, so get on his breeze.
Coming on his breeze.
No, don't come away too much. Okay, nice, mate.
We got him good.
Yeah. Nice there, 26s, boys.
No problem here.
Building here now.
Yeah, 26s.
You heard Spithill say they're going to bear away and do a port tack start, so they think that Ainsley's actually on time at this stage.
Nice pressure.
He's actually given into a port tack start on the Italian boat.
Easy touch.
Just make sure he doesn't lock us out here.
Okay.
Still early.
They are both early. There's no question they're both early. Both could be starting on port tack at this stage. Ainsley might not be out of the woods yet.
Come out of this.
Okay, got it.
No, don't think so.
Protest up from Luna Rossa at the start of race 8.
I will.
Whoa!
Okay, good angle.
Coming to the line.
Game on, race 8.
Bring on, boys.
Port starboard. Ainsley was still so early, he had to tack.
The Italian boat crossed the line early. They must slow down 50 metres.
This is the umpires. Italy OCS have about 20 metres to kill.
Good speed there.
20 metres, do it out.
Clear, penalty complete.
Clear, go, boys, go.
Copy that.
He's pressing a
And
little.
coming on the breeze now.
Up on the breeze.
Nice there.
Nice.
Well, surely they got ahead. I don't know how they did it, quite frankly. That in that start, they were in a really vulnerable spot. It looked like a port starboard to me.
Still looking okay on this left bend. He's got options for
The fast boat all of a sudden got fast again, Shirley.
I think he'll go straight.
Just want to try and build a little killer.
So, despite the penalty, despite the protest, despite being behind, look who's leading on the first leg of race number 8. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So this is the top gate for the first time in race number 8 of the Prada Cup final. And it is Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli rounding the top gate for the first time. It's close. Very close, but Ineos Team UK are going to have to be a lot closer. They're going to have to get past that very fast boat that's on its way down on the downward leg.
It's still pretty close, but it's hard to imagine that this isn't going to play out the way that the previous race played out, with Luna Rossa just slowly stretching out, just really smooth manoeuvres on that first beat. They didn't seem stressed at all when they were behind. They just waited, let the boat speed do the work for them, and they're back in front again.
We're going to have to do something pretty special here, Jello. So.
It's closed up. Ineos, more breeze. Look at the lead now. It's so close.
Good pressure here.
Good gains, lads.
They are going to get a split here. No question about it. Remember, this is not the gate that they're going through right now. That was the start line. The actual gate is to the right side of our screen.
Left there, so you've got to be a little bit careful this one.
Okay, turning up in 3.
You know that Ineos Team UK will not give up. They will hang in and hang in all the way. It was 12 seconds at the top gate. Have they made gains? 12 seconds at the bottom gate. So yes, nothing in it, but they need more.
Keep it at about high mode here, which is fine.
Nathan, they like that left side of the race course. At least they don't mind that left side of the race course, do they?
Got an intersection 20 out.
Nah, it looks pretty obvious that Prada, Jimmy and Bruni are very keen to protect the left side of the course. It is probably a click windier over there, but it was also a great opportunity to tack on their competition, give them a bit of dirty air and try and gain a few more meters. They're definitely not leaving anything to chance out here, that's for sure.
2, 1, forward down.
Surely the Italians are going to just nail them right here. They're going to go right on top of them and force them back to the short side of the race course, which is the top of the race course, right where that boundary is. Sure enough.
Exactly.
On cue.
Running out of options here on this leg. And just watching the distance so slowly growing between them.
Luna, Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, about to get to the halfway stage of race number 8. They are 3 legs away from a race win and to be crowned the Prada Cup champions and official challenger for the America's Cup. Still 3 legs to go, though. They round the top gate and head down on leg number 4. Ineos Team UK heading to that top gate. They are now halfway through the race, but they are still the hunter.
Stand by.
1 second more.
3, 2, 1.
They are about to complete leg number 4 of 6 and start out on the upwind leg for the final time. 367 meters right now in favor of Luna, Rossa, Prada, Pirelli on the penultimate leg of race number 8.
Pressure.
It's more than just smelling the chance to challenge Emirates Team New Zealand now.
2, 1.
They are pointing the nose of that beautiful boat downwind and they're heading home. And you know what they're heading home for? The prize, the Prada Cup.
Got to start thinking ahead here. Emirates Team New Zealand, what are they thinking? They're as Goody said, they're sitting out there on the water watching this race, probably parked right now. They've been creating strategies against both of these boats, most likely. Well, it's strategy A, strategy B. Well, guess what? It's strategy A. We're going against Prada. We know they're great in this light stuff. We as sailing fans, as sport fans, are just hoping for a great match.
Here we go. It's a done deal in 2021. For only the 2nd time in their history, Luna Rossa will make the match and be the official challenger for the America's Cup and take on Emirates Team New Zealand. Only the 2nd time the challenger of record has made the match. The last time, 1972. Spittle, Bruni, Sibello have done the job. They're going to the big show. On board the Prada Cup winners, Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, official challengers now for the 36th America's Cup. Jimmy Spittle, Francesco Bruni. Lads, congratulations. How does it feel, Jimmy?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Pretty good day at the office.
That's the best you can offer. Okay, Francesco, how does it feel? And you must want to say something to your home nation.
Fantastico! Fantastico! È bellissimo! È bellissimo! We are different, Australian and Italians, very different.
Jimmy, Ben's listening in. You guys have sailed together. Have you got words for Ben? Because it's happy days for you, tough day for Ben and the crew.
Oh, look, I've had definitely in my career probably some of the best racing ever against Ben. Obviously some good ones with him as well, but he's definitely one of the toughest competitors in the world. Joel Scott as well. And yeah, I'd have to mention my old mate Joey Newton. This is the first campaign in 20-something years that we haven't done one together, and yeah, it was very, very good racing going against those guys. So yeah, really pay respect to them.
Ben, I know you're listening in. Do you have a response to Jimmy's kind words?
Hey, well, no, first I've got to say well done to Luna Rossa and well done Italy. No, it's a big deal in Italy getting into the America's Cup final again. So congratulations to the team, to Jimmy and Keko and all of the boys. you know, they sailed brilliantly and you know, deserve to take the final. So yeah, hats off to them. We're obviously, you know, disappointed we couldn't get through, but you know, we'll have to go away, go back to the drawing board and see what we can do.
Hey, Ben, we just saw Jim Ratcliffe come on board. Can you just give the world a little bit of a feel for the support that he
They're
gave
just
you
asking me about you.
through some exceptional highs and lows, right? Real highs and lows that this program has gone through. Just give us a view of how the leader, the leader, how supportive he was of the program through thick and thin.
Yeah, Jim's been amazing, and John and Andy and the whole of the Ineos group and Ineos Sports. Yeah, they've been amazing backers and partners, and we can't give them enough thanks for that over the last 4 years.
We have to go across to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli right now for the Mum Champagne moment, and we'll do that right now. As you can see, the bottles of Mum Champagne are out, and this is the moment that signals for a start that you are looking at the Prada Cup winners in 2021.
About time, mate. About time, it's about time.
That'll do it. There's your Mum Champagne moment. The America's Cup. It's all about breaking records, shattering dreams, and creating heroes. The 36th chapter of the America's Cup is about to be written.
I'm with Jimmy. Jimmy, this is quite the celebration. Just describe this moment.
Yeah, now you're really seeing the Italian emotion and passion of trying to get them to hold it in until we got to this point. But now, good to see it.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has claimed the silverware that bears their name and won the right to take on the defenders, Emirates Team New Zealand, for the America's Cup.